Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. We're at it again. We're out here with the stone chicken coop build, and it's been a while. We had COVID, we had drain leak problems in the house, things to deal with. Priorities came up, so we need to get back to this thing because in about a month and a half, we will have no more warm weather. It's going to be freezing here, and I won't be able to run water for making mix and mortar and all that stuff. So I need to get all the cement work done soon. And so let's see how much progress we have made and how much more we need to do. So this is where we're at. We've got about a foot, maybe a little more than a foot on this end. This is the low end, so the ground kind of slopes down this way, so we'll have more above the ground here on this end. But the idea was to get up to 4 feet, so it's potentially I have 4 times more to do. This was 10 bags of mortar that got me to here. There were a few areas that were kind of low, and I should have used cement, the cheaper stuff, to get it up higher on the footing. But anyway, the mortar is about $6.50 a bag, so we've spent $65 or so on mortar. Today I've got 15 more bags, and so 1,200 pounds to put in here. So there are a few things that I have learned while getting us this far. I have made a very wide base here, you can see, and so I'm going to start to taper that up thinner as I get up further. So at about 2 feet, I will start to taper that down. And so what I really need to do, I've been using a lot of small rocks, and that was inefficient. I should have been looking for rocks of this size right here, rocks of this size, real nice big, look at that nice square kind of one right there, big ones like that. With flat edges on them, this one right here. And my plan is I'm going to try to go find as many of the largest rocks as I can. That I make a lot more progress putting bigger rocks in, less mortar, bigger rocks. Then I use the smaller stones to fill in around, all the little gaps that'll be between the big ones. So that's one thing I've learned. I also want to make sure I keep all this really clean. So I've got my air gun out here, super helpful little tool. I don't use those little cheap, the thumb ones that you get at like Ace Hardware and stuff. I bought this on Amazon. This has changed everything with cleanup for my air compressor, and a good air compressor that has enough air capacity. So we'll blow all this off. We've got goat manure and acorns and sticks and crap in here, so we'll clean all this off. Tons of work. This definitely is cheaper than lumber prices, but it's definitely a lot more work, a lot more labor involved. So I'm getting very physically fit out here. That's the bonus. I have been using the cement mixer that behind me here. It has a flat tire, so it's not really easy to move around. I haven't been able to fix that yet. But I put it on a different angle, so hopefully that will help mixing a little better, because it's been a little bit of a challenge to mix in there. I can get about 2.5 to 3 80-pound bags in each load, and then I fill up a tray and then bring it out here and start to do the work. So I'll get all that stuff out. We'll go collect some stones. We'll get some mortar brought in here, get a hose run, get this cleaned off, and we'll get to work. Here's evidence of the biggest problem that I have with this project. I've got some crew members that are not so helpful. Goats love to climb. So My biggest struggle is as I build this thing up, as soon as I go in for lunch or go in for the day, they come over here and just climb all over everything, knock a bunch of the stones off. So I've had to fix it a couple times. I've had to come out here like an hour after, and when the mortar's more set up, and just make sure everything's still in place. I could try to cover it or block it off, but goats are tricky. As this one tries to eat the cement bags. I don't think you're gonna like that. Hey, if I just get rocks like that, I'll be done in no time. All right. I'm tired, but this is where we're at. Believe it or not, it's only 2.5 feet. So we got 1.5 feet to go. And one of the things I'll do is I'll come out here usually, you know, maybe half an hour after I lay a course, and then just kind of smooth this out with my hands. Some of the stuff is drooping down and didn't stick to the rocks. Some of the rocks were dirty. So this is the stuff, this is where I started, somewhere down here. And this stuff's already hard, pretty hard anyway. But that's kind of what it looks like when it's done. So I'm not looking for it to be perfect. I'm not gonna come back and brush it or anything like that. And I'll just let it be rough. It's like an old barn foundation, old barn footing. But it turned out pretty good. So I had a lot of extra mortar, and I need to get out of here. The mosquitoes are killing me, so I kind of just put a bunch on the top. It'll give me kind of a smooth surface to start with on the next time I come out, and help to hold that top layer together. So when the goats jump on all over it in 10 minutes, hopefully it'll stay. But it's doing pretty good. I mean, I'm down to the smaller rocks now, so it goes really fast, and I'm using way less mortar. And so I'm down to about a hand width is what I'm looking for when I'm collecting rocks. And it's been staying pretty straight. I haven't run a string line. It's got a little bow in it here, but it's all right. I may run a string and just kind of try to straighten it up or get it a little close, but it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. This one over here got a little bit more crooked, maybe, but it's not too bad. And the back wall here did really good. It's pretty straight. That rock right there, that big one that I got, I don't know how much that thing weighs, but that was a monster. I wish that I could have built it all out of those size rocks, and it was nice and square, so that was a pretty good deal. But I don't know if my back could handle collecting that many of those. So we just have about 1.5 feet of building left to do. I used 10 bags of mortar today and got it up about, I don't know, I guess it was about 1 foot. Built it up about 1.5 feet, something like that. So we use a lot less mortar. I think that probably another 10 bags or less and I should have everything finished up. So we want it to be 4 feet tall. You'll notice that the sound quality isn't quite as good because this used to be my microphone. Looks like a goat decided to get out and have fun with it. So I've been out here for a good chunk of the day, most of the afternoon, probably six hours, something like that, 6-7 hours doing this. So it takes a ton of time, and it's very labor intensive. Hauling around, you know, I moved 1,200 pounds of mortar bags, plus, you know, probably another 2,000 pounds of rocks around today. So it's a good workout, I think. But lots left to do. So my plan is to get this up to 4 feet, if you've been following along, and I'm going to put rafters across to put a floor in it. I'm either going to go up with wood at that point, or we'll see if I'm feeling ambitious. I may go up another foot with stone and then just put a peaked roof on it. And so the attic of the shelter will end up being the chicken coop. I'll put clean out and nesting boxes and all that kind of good stuff in there. And then the underneath of it will be for goats or pigs or, you know, whatever other kind of livestock we ever have out here. So let me know what you guys think. The question for this episode is it worth it? Do you think it's worth it to build this out of stone, given how much time it takes? All the resources were free minus the mortar and the cement. That's all I've had to pay for. And so all the stone has been free so far. So I really haven't spent I don't even think I've spent $200, maybe $180 or something like that. Actually, with all the other concrete, I've probably spent a little over $200, but still not that much. So do you think it's worth it, or do you think I'm regretting this decision instead of building with wood? Let me know what you guys think. Of course, hit thumbs up on today's video. I'd love to hear from you guys. Love to get your support. And if it's your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe and tag along. Of course, we'll be finishing this project as well as many others. We've got lots of repair work to do in the house, and we're moving inside here in the next few months and doing lots of indoor stuff, indoor gardening and other things coming up. So love to have you tag along for that. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.